No one knew the burden. Part 17. Narrated by Dr. Judith Ogweno. One day, Becher got an invitation to attend a conference in Berlin. She had waited for years to get such an invitation. She was therefore extremely excited and told a few of her colleagues, including Dr. Alphonse Moore. She wrapped up her classes by marking the students' exams, entering marks, and ensuring that her desk was free of work. She confirmed her bookings for the hotel she would stay in while in the conference. She even got a map of the place just to be sure she knew where she was going to spend. Her luggage was packed, just waiting for the traveling date. My passport reads Riziki Bahati. I still love these names. They helped me through the most difficult time of my life, she said reflectively. Then she took her traveling documents and put in the handbag she was to travel with. Having a feeling of satisfaction, she decided to go to Yaya Center to do some shopping of a few things she would need for her journey. Just as she was crossing the road to pick a cab home, a drunk driver knocked her down. She found herself in hospital a week later. Her right hand and leg were in heavy bandage. Her neck was also slightly hurt. The hospital had tried to trace her kin, but to no avail. Unfortunately, the very day she had gone to the shopping mall, because it was not very far from her residence, she had taken her purse with some money she needed to do a small shopping. She had no identification document. A good Samaritan had come to her rescue and driven her to hospital in his vehicle. When he came and found people staring at her while she was lying on the road, he had moved very fast, carried her into the car, and taken her to the women's hospital nearby. He had visited there twice, and the doctors thought they were related. "Excuse me, sir, your patient needs specialized care, and we don't have the facilities here," the doctor told him during one of the visits. "All right, where would we find that facility?" the concerned Good Samaritan had inquired anxiously. "In South Africa or Britain," the doctor said. "I have some little money in my account. You can use that to treat me," came a weak voice from the bed. A week had gone by. The doctor and the visitor were stunned to hear her speak. The doctor noted that there was good progress then, but they still needed specialized treatment. They asked Becher about her relatives. However, the only name she gave was of her friend Dr. Alphonse Moore. The visitor, whose name was Richard, traced Dr. Moore. After a lot of discussions, he helped organize for Becher's transportation to and upkeep in Britain. They were able to get Dorothy, that is Becher's friend, to help them get Becher's traveling documents, a suitcase with a few clothes and a few other necessities. He felt obligated to help someone in need. He called his son, Junior, who was working in Britain. He could help in attending to Riziki's needs and in case of any problem to get in touch with him immediately. He made the phone call and the son responded. Richard decided to put him on loudspeaker. He moved closer and Becher was able to see Richard's face clearly. Something about him made her uncomfortable, but she had not strength to protest or decide her fate. "Hello, Junior. How are you today? I'd like to introduce you to someone," he said. "Yes, Dad, I'm fine. Please go on," Junior responded. "Please meet Riziki Bahati." Then as he was bringing the phone close to her, he said, "This is my son, Junior." "Oh," blurted out Becher. Then she held her mouth. Richard inquired whether she had seen her son before, but she shook her head, indicating that she had not. She greeted Junior and said a few words and bade him bye. Richard took the phone and organized the plans with his son. However, in her thoughts, Becher kept wondering who Richard really was. Why had he taken her burden as his own? When the visitors had left, She thought about her mother. She wondered whether her mother was still alive. She also thought about her brother and their home in Eldoret. She felt her eyes filling with tears. Just then, a nurse walked in with her supper and she quickly wiped her eyes. She decided that she needed to concentrate on her healing first. Top care was accorded to Betcha by Junior. He received her from the airport and ensured she was admitted into the hospital. Whenever he could, he visited her in the hospital. Her 2-month stay in the hospital impacted Junior greatly. He kept wondering why such a beautiful woman was not married. He waited for her to recover before he could broach the topic. Riziki, may I ask you a personal question? He stammered. Yes, as long as it's not about my shoe size, she said in jest. When she noticed that he was rather serious, she motioned him to go on. Oh, I just wondered why such a beautiful lady like you has been unable to stay unmarried this long. His voice faded away. Oh, that's a simple question, bro. You made it sound like such a big question. He noted that she had called him bro, and his heart sank a little. Let me assure you that there's no problem. I guess I was so busy serving the world that I forgot to marry, she answered. Then they both burst out in laughter. Surely, Riziki, be serious. Is that really the reason? Because you might not leave England that easily if you don't answer my question. He pretended to be condescending. She put her finger on her lips and answered, My lips are sealed. Please, let's change the topic for now. Someday I shall tell you. From then on, he kept visiting her in hospital with a hope for an answer. One day, Junior decided that he was going to get the answer at all costs. He prepared to visit her that evening and have a long talk. Just as he was about to leave the office, a call came through. Junior, please prepare to travel to Chile in the next 2 hours. There's a developing story there. You shall cover it, his boss was saying on the other end of the line. He did not know whether he was dreaming or hearing right. Normally, he loved journeys, but since Riziki arrived in Britain, he had been glad his schedule had rather been free. The boss continued, Check your flight details from your email. Then she hung up. Junior was left dumbfounded. For more, find out what happens next time.